Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. Tonight on The Big Story, we look back and look forward as 2025 ends and 2026 begins. Post-New Year revelry, firecracker-related injuries and other medical emergencies were fewer compared to last year, but it's still a few hundreds too many. In a bit, we also get the insights of analyst Richard Haydarian on how Philippine politics is shaping up amid a corruption probe and 2 years before a presidential election yet. And later still, we have feng shui expert Johnson Chua and his forecast for 2026. Which animal signs are luckiest and which will be most challenged this year?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yung pag-asa, wala naman yun kung hindi ka magsusumikap sa buhay, di ba? Siguro hindi naman kailangan matakot. Harapin mo na lang kung ano yung meron na darating.
Lahat ng Pilipino magiging sa katotohanan. Sana mawala na yung mga kurakot sa gobyerno natin.
Fireworks-related injuries ballooned to more than 200 after the New Year revelry. Health officials are also closely monitoring other medical emergencies reported during the holidays. Here is mobile journalist Arles de los Santos with tonight's big story.
This 8-year-old boy can't stop crying when brought to Tondo Medical Center. His hand was bloody after it got hit by a 5-star he lit on the morning of January 1st. His mother said she did not notice that the child managed to set off last-minute fireworks. Meanwhile, this 14-year-old Chin was hit by illegal firecracker Goodbye Philippines. This 16-year-old's hand, on the other hand, was mangled by another prohibited firework, Kabase. He said a rider just handed him the firecracker only to realize that it was already lit.
Pagpasok po sa loob, bigla na lang pong pumutok sa kamay ko. Tatlo po. Sabay-sabay po pumutok.
His resolution after the incident:
Hindi na ako magpapaputok.
from December 21, 2025 until the morning of January 1, 2026, a total of 73 fireworks-related injuries were reported at Tondo Medical Center. 4 newer cases were identified as severe, which could mean amputation of limbs. What concerns doctors most? Many of the victims are minors. According to the general surgeon, their youngest patient is only 6 years old, who lit up a cinturon ni Judas at the instruction of an adult.
Bibihira lang yung matanda na naputukan. Kung may naputukan man, natalsikan lang sila dahil marapit sila sa area. Pero yung mga grabe, usually mga bata.
Across the country, the Department of Health recorded a total of 235 fireworks-related injuries since December 21st, 62 of which were recorded just right after the New Year's Eve revelry. Minors made up bulk of the cases. This is why the DOH not only wants a total ban on household use of firecrackers, but is also pushing for penalizing parents whose children become victims.
Yung bata, hindi talaga dapat kumahawak ng paputok. Bibigyan ko ng halimbawa, DJ Sam, Manong Ted. Kung ng mga kutsilyo nga, ingat tayong ipahawak sa mga bata, mga kutsilyo, mga baril, mga bomba, lalo na baril at bomba, ito pa kaya, pulbura to.
Oo.
Aside from fireworks-related injuries, the DOH also sounded the alarm on non-communicable diseases like stroke and asthma. From December 21st, East Avenue Medical Center has logged 86 stroke cases, 11 acute coronary syndrome incidents, and 8 asthma patients. The health department says there's no doubt unhealthy eating habits did this. Add to that, the smog or polluted air right after the merrymaking that could also aggravate heart ailments.
Ang advice ng DOH is, yung mga high risk, huwag muna lumabas kung kaya. Sa bahay nilang muna. Yung mga, kung kailangan lumabas, mag-face mask po. Mas maganda kung N95.
DOH also noted 52 trauma cases brought about by intoxication. Of this, 38 were vehicular accidents. Authorities have also monitored at least one stray bullet victim in Bulacan. In all, according to the PNP, there were 11 reported indiscriminate firing incidents. And to the organization's dismay, among those involved was a policeman.
Meron po tayong mga complainants na 3 minor, kaya po kaatribut po nung kanyang kasong kinakaharap ay meron din pong kasamang grave threat in relation to RA 7610 dahil nagkaroon po ng trauma attack.
Kapatid Arles de los Santos, we are One News.
In Antipolo, a fireworks display gone wrong resulted in tragedy just as 2025 ended. Residents initially thought this was...
Ang daming tao doon!
Residents initially thought this was a massive pyrotechnics display along Sumulong Highway at the stroke of midnight. But suddenly the fireworks flew in all directions, with some heading straight to the spectators. 11 were wounded, some due to the fireworks and others due to the panic and commotion that ensued.
Nanonood lang po ako ng fireworks, gawa po ng 12 na po noon, kaya po nagpuputok na po sila. Then napansin ko po, biglang lumis po yung paputok. Doon na po nagsimula yung trahedya.
Bigla na lang po may naligaw na fireworks doon na nagsimula ng sunog po. Hanggang sa kumalat na po siya at saka nataranta na po kaming tumakbo. Hindi na po namin naligpit yung mga gamit namin.
According to authorities, one of the fireworks set a firecracker stall on fire, with the blaze quickly spreading. A total of 15 stalls burned down, all selling firecrackers. Investigation as to the exact cause of the incident is underway.
Pero nag-umpisa ito sa fountain na sinindihan, tapos tumama dito sa unang tindahan hanggang sa nagkasunod-sunod na po yung
Meantime, President Bongbong Marcos calls for unity in 2026 after a tumultuous 2025 for the country. In his New Year's message, Marcos encouraged Filipinos to move forward with a stronger sense of responsibility and a renewed resolve to help build the nation under the vision of Bagong Pilipinas. The chief executive invited the public to pause and reflect on the lessons of the past year, noting that the new year offers an opportunity for renewal and hope despite challenges. Marcos also assured the government remains steadfast in its pursuit of a new Philippines that promotes unity, fosters compassion, and highlights the strengths and resilience of Filipinos. Sara Duterte also called for unity, courage, and faith as the nation welcomes 2026. She urged Filipinos to toss fear and doubt out of the window and embrace the new year with hope and courage.
Sa pagsalubong natin sa 2026, iwaksi na natin ang anumang pag-aalinlangan at takot. Ngayon ang simula ng isang panibagong kabanata, isang malinis na pahina na punong-puno ng pag-asa. Hayaan nating mag-alab muli ang ating tapang at determinasyon. Sama-sama tayong magsikap at magdasal na ang 2026 ay maging taon ng pag-asa at pagpapala.
And joining us tonight for a discussion on what to expect this 2026 is our resident geopolitical analyst, Richard Haydarian. Good evening, Richard, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you also, Steph.
All right, where are you?
Sorry, nasa Baguio ako ngayon, back home.
Okay. So, we just heard the two highest leaders of the land in their New Year messages talking about unity and bagong Pilipinas. Parang lip service lang.
Parang ito yung rehash nung nangyari the year earlier, kaso hindi sila magkasama, di ba? Kasi usually I think magkasama sila, di ba? Especially in the earlier years of the BBM administration, but now they're doing it separately. I think if you look at 2025, talagang dito nabuksan yung Pandora's box, no? Really, once unimaginable things happened, including, of course, yung detention and handing over of former President Rodrigo Duterte to the International Criminal Court. Unimaginable things happening, like fears of potential coup d'etat, or hundreds of thousands of people coming out dun sa protesta laban sa corruption scandals. Unimaginable things like Ferdinand Marcos positioning himself as a crusader against corruption and in favor of good governance. Not to mention also, it was a year of really ang daming tensions din sa West Philippine Sea, including that major incident sa West Philippine Sea na nagsalpukan yung dalawang Chinese major vessels, which really raised concerns about potential escalation in the West Philippine Sea, especially with the second Trump presidency also coming in and adding new uncertainties. So it was a year of wild swings. But in many ways, parang ano rin siya, may pagka-postmodern simulacra rin siya eh. A lot of war over positioning, performativity, about optics and PR. Kaya wala pa tayong decisive direction pagdating sa ating politika. But I think this year, 2026, most likely makikita natin there'll be some major tectonic shifts in Philippine politics.
Okay, there is now a complaint against the VP in the Office of the Ombudsman. Do you see the Ombudsman acting swiftly on this?
I think yung unang malaking bagay na papanoorin ng lahat, not only observers, pero kasama dyan yung ating mga kababayan, is yung final list, for instance, na ilalabas ng Ombudsman on sino mga kakasuhan, no? Kung sinong may certainty of conviction base sa determinasyon ng Ombudsman when it comes to sa flood control projects. And then at the same time, of course, whether the Ombudsman will also recommend potential articles of impeachment against Sara Duterte, kasi malilift na by February, di ba? Yung basically yung time limit dun sa refiling of impeachment against the Vice President. Except this time, mag-apply na yung rules ng Supreme Court unless there's going to be a major Supreme Court ruling or amendment or based dun sa motion for reconsideration na final ng iba't ibang grupo last year. But as things stand, baka as early as February, we would see some major developments. We will know about the list of ombudsman, sino dun sa mga sangkot, sa mga scandals, sa flood control scandals, na malalaking mga legislators ay potentially could face prosecution. And at the same time, whether the ombudsman will also be proactive enough to potentially initiate a new round of impeachment against the vice president. Kaya sabi ko nga, this year could be the decisive year.
Do you have faith in the ombudsman acting swiftly? Because, when Ombudsman Remulla assumed the position, he was giving interviews left and right and giving assurances and promises that, sadly hindi nangyari because we were expecting at least a big, so-called big fish by Christmas. But it's now January 1. So may paniniwala ka pa ba sa kakayahan ni Ombudsman Remulla?
Well, unang-una, I mean, the base was very low, no? Yung previous ombudsman ay pwede mong sabihin na political figurine, no? Halos walang ginawa. And potentially even work in the reverse direction in terms of ensuring accountability, whether dun sa salain ng dating administration, top officials, or whether allegedly even on some cases involving some of the senators who are now, once again, potentially could face prosecution for involvement in corruption scandals. So coming from that base, and not to mention the Remulias were not necessarily known as paragons of good governance. I mean, you could say they were like, of an established political family known as decisive and everything like that. But I think given yung ganyan background, to be fair to former Justice Secretary Boying Remulla, I think he has definitely come a long, long way. Huge improvement ang nakita natin. But as you correctly pointed out, says no, it looks like there was some over-promising. And I think there was some pressure. I mean, who appointed Boying Remulla to? Is the president. And what was the position of president? Yung Christmas gift sa taong bayan is by the end of the year, may mga big fish na makukulong, or at least we'll have some clarity. Sino mga big fish ay pwede makasuhan ng Ombudsman Office? Well, we have at least one, right? One of the Discayas at least is now in detention. I don't think small fish sila. Siguro yung iba, small whale or big whale, pero walang small fish sa kanila. Lahat sila involved.
Pero
dito sa
Richard, we're talking about government officials, people in positions of power.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Kaya hindi ako nag-disagree sa'yo. What I'm saying is that I think there was a pressure on the ombudsman considering he owed his appointment to the president to kind of, not naman humor, pero to tag along. Kaya sabi ko parang simulacra last year. Lahat nagpo-position, there's a lot of performative.
So performative masyado ngayon, deliver na. One thing, and I don't know if you agree with me, these government officials, dishing out, they keep talking, making pronouncements. It chips at their credibility. Kasi gusto natin maniwala pero wala naman. So what should you advise them to do, 'di ba? This time, mag-action na lang muna sila, wag na muna sila magsalita kung hindi naman mangyayari.
Well, I mean, if you talk to a lot of top legal experts, legal luminaries, I mean, they would have said na medyo unrealistic talaga yung by December. So we're looking at 3, 4, 5 months. That realistically, you're looking at early this year. This is not an excuse. This was about yung just the logistics, di ba? Yung reality. Kasi syempre ang gusto mo, kapag kinasuhan, yung mga malalaking tao who are capable of hiring the best lawyers ever, playing politics and all, gusto mo sigurado, di ba? Airtight. So, it remains to be seen whether the reason why hindi nangyari yan by December and we're still waiting for it. Ang gusto natin marinig is whether the reason for that is not because may negosasyon nangyari behind the scenes, whether may kalokohan na nangyari dito, baka naman meron legitimate reason which is gusto nila airtight yung cases. Kasi, I mean, remember, last year was kind of a winning streak for a lot of people involved in corruption scandals. Ilan ang na-acquit ng Sandigan Bayan?
Yes.
The Binites were acquitted. Enrile, the late Enrile were acquitted. Napoles was acquitted. Some of the Marcos Cronis cases were acquitted. The list goes on and on and on. Ang dami na-acquit last year sa Sandigan Bayan. Which tells you, siguro, pag ombudsman, you're gonna push ahead with this. Airtight mo yan para hindi 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road, na-acquit na naman lahat ng mga yan, di ba? Para hindi lang zarsuela. So, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying, sana the reason is not because may kakaibang nangyayari, Mickey Mouse business or negosasyon nangyayari, who's on the list, who's not on the list. Sana is because we want to make this legally airtight. As far as the promises to the administration is concerned, I think, parati ko sinabi, when was the last time we had a Filipino president promising good governance? That was the Dan Matuid of Pinoy. Did it work for him politically? Not really. Because the more you talk about corruption, the more there's exposure of corruption, the more magiging cynical ang tao, the more people will ask for accountability, the more magiging politically risky and some would even say unrealistic for the president to deliver. Because tataas at tataas, di ba? Yung investigation. I mean, let's not forget, towards the end of the year, no less than the presidential son had to go to the ICI. We can debate about how credible ICI or how effective ICI has been. But people are eventually gonna ask, what about the president himself?
Yeah.
Ilan sa kanya mga cabinet members ay napa-alis sa pwesto. Maybe they know something, right? So, I think the president really painted himself into a corner.
Yeah.
And I think the wish of the president is he can just do just good enough for people to be happy. And then because ASEAN chair tayo this year, ang darating mga world leaders, maybe the agenda and the media coverage will shift. But he has opened up the Pandora's box na eh. Kaya nga, this is gonna be a very tough year for the president.
So how do you see him navigating 2026?
As I said, as far as the corruption issue is concerned, hahanapin niya yung Goldilocks, di ba? Just enough high-profile people ay potentially eventually makakasuhan na ombudsman, and just enough high-level corruption will be exposed, but not so much na mag-implode yung kanyang alliance. Remember, some of the key allies of the president paid the political price, at least. I mean, at least lost their position, like Martin Romualdez, among other things, right? So, baka at some point, kung ay approval or satisfaction mo ay -3 na, at that's more than a month ago, who knows, baka -10 na ngayon, at papunta ka na sa Gloria Macapagal Arroyo territory in terms of satisfaction rating, you have to be also careful. I mean, this is just politics. You have to be careful, baka mamaya bumaliktad pa yung mga allies mo in your lame duck years.
Okay.
Next, baka may impeachment complaint pa sa kanya. So if you're Marcos, you're hoping that you don't alienate enough people in the Congress or the Senate to create a total backlash in your lame duck years. And at the same time, sana ma-shift yung focus mo into the big international issues as we chair the ASEAN this year.
Right. So as we chair the ASEAN and global attention will be trained in the Philippines, ano kaya ang what legacy is BBM hoping for, as an ASEAN leader?
Absolutely. Well, una-una, of course, alam natin na this year, hindi naman dapat tayo nag-ASEAN chair. It was supposed to be Myanmar. Diba? If you follow it alphabetically and chronologically. So obviously, may kailangan tayong gawin about the Myanmar situation. There was just a sham election recently. We have to make a statement about that, whether we recognize that or not. East Timor, finally, hindi tayo lang yung Christian majority or Catholic majority country in ASEAN. Meron tayong isa pang bansa, East Timor, Timor-Leste, sumama. Dapat tulungan natin ang East Timor to fully integrate into ASEAN and to be ready also to host major events like ASEAN once their time for chairmanship comes. Pero obviously, if there's one issue whereby Marcos Jr. has, I would say, more or less, categorically would say, done well, or at least well enough, ito yung West Philippine Sea issue. I think on this issue, in fairness, I'll give it to the president. I know there's all this propaganda, tuta siya ng Amerika, we're gonna be the Ukraine of Asia, and all of this nonsense. But the reality is that so far, China has blinked. How many times na-expose ng Pilipinas, ang Philippine Coast Guard, AFP, yung mga kababalakan at kalokohan ng ginagawa ng China sa West Philippine Sea, all the bullying and all of that. And yet here we are. The US has not abandoned the Philippines. We're not the Ukraine of Asia. And if anything, actually lumakas pa yung alyansa natin. I mean, in 2025, I went to 6 major capitals across Europe and Asia. Lahat sila, they want to develop their relationship with us, their strategic relations with us. The French, the Germans, the Brits, the Kiwis, the Indians, Japanese, all of them. And Canadians, obviously, most importantly, who just signed also the reciprocal agreement. So kung ikaw si Marcos, yung West Philippine Sea, feeling ko, yung pinakamaganda niyang potentially legacy, at yun ang i-consolidate niya this year. And realistically, I think what you want...
Richard, there's really no hope of getting everyone on board on signing a code of conduct that's, acceptable to everyone. And do you expect some ASEAN nations to stand up to China? Baka hindi.
Perfect question. That was exactly where I was going. Dun sa issue ng code of conduct, malabo yan. I think China has been humoring us for 2 decades or so. They build whole cities faster than they negotiate provisions or titles of the code of conduct.
True.
Let's be honest. Like in the past 20 years, just look at Chongqing or even some of the smaller cities in China. They're mega cities now. So obviously, China is not interested in any real legally binding rules-based on-clause based. But says, I won't be surprised though. Marami magkakaroon ng intra-ASEAN bilateral maritime delimitation, boundary delimitation negotiations. Mahalaga yan, says. So if this year, hopefully, God willing, ma-finalize natin yung maritime boundary delimitation negotiations natin with Vietnam, katulad ng ginawa ng Vietnam, Indonesia. Basically, ano to? Okay, yung China, they claim everything. So mahirap kausapin yan, di ba? So ang ayaw lang natin mangyari is may mamatay or may gulo. Pero doon, yung Vietnam and Indonesia, sinigurado nila, ito sa akin, ito sa'yo, hindi naman tayo nag-aaway eh. At gagawin din natin sa Vietnam yan. Eventually, actually says, if the Philippines manages to negotiate all of its maritime boundaries with Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam, then it's clear sino ang source ng problem. Hindi tayo, hindi Vietnam, hindi Malaysia. it's going to be China because China claims everything, right? Habang tayo and Vietnam and Malaysia, pwede mo naman i-delimit yan. And last time I checked, Vietnam and Malaysia also accept UNCLOS, including the relevant provisions of the arbitral ruling we won back in 2016. So, yes, tama ka. Don't expect anything big as far as ASEAN China is concerned. But I think as far as intra-ASEAN cooperation on South China Sea or West Philippines is concerned, meron tayong pag-asa. I think there's something we can get at the end of the year. And then at the same time, I think it's a priority of the president to make sure Xi Jinping comes to town and also Donald Trump. He wants all of those big players to be here in Manila later this year. So I think in the meantime, de-escalation na lang. Realistically ang gusto natin with China. Do nothing crazy. In fact, recently I just had a meeting with the new Chinese ambassador to Manila, and he made it very clear. I mean, this is public, so hindi ito confidential. Stabilization yung kanyang priority. So I think all of us are realistic. Nothing fantastic is going to happen with China anytime soon. But at least in the coming months, we want to stabilize that situation. And for Marcos, that's the most realistic best case scenario. And that's going to be the big legacy he's going to harp on in his final years as the defender of the West Philippine Sea and a rules-based order in the region.
Well, hopefully something will come out of this corruption scandal. People will be made accountable and jailed. And as you said, parang maghanap lang siya ng konti to satisfy the public clamor.
Just good enough, yeah. I mean, that's just the realpolitik tayo here. Personally, of course, gusto ko lahat ng mga kurakot makulong. Hindi naman worse than that. Pero kung baka, next thing you know, wala na tayong gobyerno. If mangyari yan, baka we'll get anarchy. But I don't want to say more. I know you got someone else to do the forecasting about the years. I'll leave it
Well,
to the next expert. I will just keep it
yes,
at this level.
the feng shui expert will be more candid than you. I hope. Thank you so much for your time and joining us on the first day of the year of 2026, geopolitical analyst Richard Haydarian. This is a big story on One News, and next I sit down with feng shui expert Johnson Chua to know his forecast for each of the 12 Chinese zodiac signs. What's in store for you in 2026? And as we go on break, here are the biggest entertainment moments in 2025 via the Associated Press.
This is absolutely the worst fire I've ever seen in my life.
Look at the moon.
Oh, he's dope.
It's boring.
I don't necessarily feel like I'm defending democracy.
I did not touch that woman. I wanted to be really like a really ugly Medusa, and I feel like we nailed it.
It'll be a front and center in my house.
big story is back with the other headlines on the first day of the year. Mayon volcano in Albay is now under alert level 2 after signs of increased activity. FIVOLC said the unrest is linked to shallow magmatic processes beneath the volcano. 599 rockfall events have been recorded over the past 2 months, with activity intensifying in late December. That's including 47 rockfalls on December 31st, the highest number recorded in a single day over the past year. Alert level 2 indicates increasing unrest that could lead to hazardous events such as sudden explosions, pyroclastic flows, rock falls, and landslides. FIVOLCs advise the public to stay out of the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone and warned pilots against flying near Mayon. Meanwhile, at least 22 people were injured after a grenade exploded during New Year's celebrations in Matalam, North Cotabato. Police said 2 suspects on a motorcycle hurled the grenade at the height of a party. Authorities said they have identified the suspects and confirmed the explosive used was an MK2 hand grenade.
Yung mga suspect yan is involved, no, sa illegal drugs. So we have a series of anti-illegal drugs na at napiktuhan yung kanilang gagawa sila ng mga possible na mga senaryo to divert yung aming attention.
The Department of National Defense has raised concern over China's recent military exercises around Taiwan. Beijing launched its Justice Mission 2025 drills, firing dozens of rockets and deploying warships and aircraft near the island. This was a show of force that also drew concern from Western allies. Defense Secretary Gibo Chodoro said the actions risk undermining regional peace and stability amid heightened geopolitical tensions. The DND warned the escalation goes beyond cross-strait issues and could affect the broader Indo-Pacific region. It also reaffirmed its support for a free, open, stable, and rules-based Indo-Pacific free from coercion or intimidation. And even before the first storm of the year, the State Weather Bureau is already prepared. As 2026 begins, Pag-asa has released its official list of typhoon names for the year. The agency says around 20 typhoons enter the Philippine area of responsibility each year, given the country's location near the Pacific Ocean. Pag-asa uses name lists that are recycled every 4 years. However, names linked to deadly and destructive storms such as Yolanda and Ondoy are permanently retired. Meantime, cities of the world welcome the new year with cultural traditions and breathtaking fireworks displays. Here's the story.
The world as people welcome 2026, accompanied by centuries-old cultural traditions. In Thailand, revelers celebrated with a fireworks display over Bangkok's Chao Phraya River, while in Malaysia, colorful explosions illuminated Kuala Lumpur's skyline, including the Petronas Twin Towers. China rang in the new year with an immersive light show and countdown at the Gyeongguan section of the Great Wall. In Seoul, South Korea, the Bosingak Pavilion hosted a traditional bell tolling and countdown ceremony. In Tokyo, locals and tourists gathered at Tokudaiji Temple to strike the giant bell 108 times at midnight, a Buddhist tradition symbolizing the cleansing of worldly desires. Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong went without its usual fireworks after a devastating fire in November, but landmark facades lit up with countdown clocks. In Auckland, New Zealand, a 5-minute fireworks display launched from the 240-meter Sky Tower marked the first major city to greet 2026 despite rainy weather.
You know, every new year, the question is always this: would it be a lucky one? Let's get the insight of a feng shui expert, Johnson Chua, who is joining me here in the studio. Happy New Year muna to you.
Happy New Year po.
Although, Coach,
Yes.
I know that's what your clients call you. When will the Lunar New Year, Chinese Lunar New Year start ba?
Yeah, so bali it will start on February 17, 2026.
okay.
Yes. Opo. Medyo late po for this year.
So hindi right now we're still technically in the year of the snake.
Yes, opo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sige nga, is the year of the fire horse going to be lucky?
Yeah, because originally 2026, fire horse is talagang the energy sa a lot of fire elements, okay? Although there are different kinds of parang
So, passionate.
Yeah, the perspective ng iba may passionate but maybe malakas din yung aggressive energy or passion, mga ganun. Although for me, I always look on the positive energy. That's why I call the 2026 as passion, creation, and determination. Yan siya.
Passion, creation, and determination. So, creativity.
Creativity, yes. Because fire is always a symbol of may something bago eh.
Something na ginagawa.
Yes, may ginagawa.
You're creating.
Yes.
So again, passion, creation,
and determination.
Determination.
Yes. Why determination? Because the fire horse is also very fast-paced kasi ang kabayo, di ba? So parang everything may go fast, okay? Pero sabi nga ng iba, pag mabilis, dapat sumunod din tayo para makasabay. But in reality, kapag sumunod tayo, pero sunod lang na sunod, takbo lang tayo na takbo sa race, mamaya hindi naman natin nakikita yung finish line. So the most important is you have a determination of your target goal. What is your target goal? Okay lang kahit medyo slow, basta kailangan makukuha mo yung goal mo. Yeah.
So that's your advice to everybody in general, what
Yes.
this year has in store for us.
Yes.
You can start something new.
Yes,
I
start
guess.
something new.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, pag maraming fire, passionate ang mga tao. So, we can say that's a good sign para for the mga business people, di ba? Maybe like, may bagong creation. Especially here in Philippines, we're a fire country. So, that's why most
We
of
are a fire
Yes, we're a
country.
fire country.
Why is that?
Yeah.
How in Feng Shui do you describe us as a fire country?
Yeah. Originally, we base it on the birthday of the country like that. So, we base it on the part of the independent. Kung kailan tayo nagkaroon ng Independence Day.
From, so June 12,
Yeah.
1898.
Yes, 1898 like that. So on that time
So bagay
kasi
sa Pilipinas.
yung fire energy,
Yeah.
yes. That's why kung mapapansin niyo po, when we talk about fire, it's something to do with passion. And you know, as mga Filipinos is very passionate people talaga.
Yeah.
Especially
Madrama. Kasama ba yun, di ba? Ano tayong madrama?
Yeah, because passionate kasi sa emotion eh. So
Okay.
very sensitive yung emotion eh. So kapag happy tayo, everybody happy.
Yeah.
Pero pag meron something, ay naku, parang
Yeah.
salong-salo natin siya like
Oo.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why in terms of food pag titignan natin, the most passionate of the business is the food. Diba? The food
So
industry.
food, if you're in the food industry,
Yeah, still it will work. para
asensado ka.
26. Yes.
Ano pang anong pang businesses ang okay?
Yeah. Ngayon po kasi because of the enter of the social media, the technology, because fires has something to do with technology. So, pasok din siya ngayon.
So yung mga nagti-TikTok, yung mga
Yes.
merong blogs.
Yeah. Kaya marami nga po, di ba, mga naging influencers.
Yeah.
Tapos kung mapapansin niyo po, the more they do that is mga food vlogging, travel
So that's also
vlogging.
because that also symbolizes fire.
Yes, that also symbolizes
Mga
the
live
fire in the heart.
selling,
Yeah.
e-commerce.
E-commerce, yes. Digital marketing, right? Yan. Kasi digital marketing use a lot of the technology. Now, is entering na rin tayo sa energy of the period 9, which is the AI time. Na ngayon pumapasok na ang AI. Dati may kasabihan lang, huli na ang negosyo mo pag wala ka pa sa internet.
Tama.
Pero ngayon, huli na ang negosyo mo pag wala ka pang AI.
If you don't, use it to organize your business, to put some, di ba? AI
Yes.
does that, helps
Yeah.
reduce some of the workload.
Yes, opo, yeah. Like the simple, di ba, the chat box part
Right.
of the like that, yeah.
Ano naman yung medyo dapat, mga negosyong dapat maghinay-hinay? Kasi this is a fire horse. Ano yung mga hindi match sa passion sa init ng kabayo?
Yeah. Originally po, because of the too much of the fire energy, mahina ang metal and water. Although it's the other way around.
So if your sign is metal and water,
yes, oo. The sign of metal and water. Pero it's the other way around. Kasi sabi natin, mahina ang metal and water, so sila ba yung pinakabagsak na negosyo or what? Pero kasi ang kasabihan natin is the balance of feng shui. Kung ano yung mahina, yun ang hinahanap. So, ibig sabihin, ang pinaka-luckiest element for this 2026 is metal and water.
Oh!
Yeah, like that, yun. So, it can
so
be
sino
based,
ang mga metal and water?
Yeah, so these are mga animal signs, okay, all animal signs can have this based on dun sa tinatawag natin, kunyari either like wood rat, di ba? May wood rat, water rat,
Tama.
may water
They're
tiger,
different
metal
elements
tiger.
of the, okay.
Yes,
So
like
basta
that.
metal and
water. Yes.
Ano na nga yung mga years ending para
Yeah.
alam natin sino yung metal at
So kapag kayo po'y pinanganak na ang ending po ng year nyo, okay, is 2 and 3, that's a water element. Like that. So kunyari, 1952,
So yung mga may ending
1962.
na 2 and 3.
Yes, that's water.
This is a good year for
It's
them.
a good year for them,
Isa-isahin
especially opportunities.
Isa-isahin kaya natin yung fire rooster.
Yes.
Is that a good, is it the
For this
year
year.
going to be good for a fire rooster?
Originally, rooster is medyo challenging for this 2026.
Hindi
okay.
sila compatible. No?
Hindi sila ganun ka-compatible because rooster is one of the conflict animal sign of the horse this year. So that is something to do with medyo mataas ang conflict energy at meron silang quarrelsome star this year. So medyo may mga case problem, legal problems, or sometimes sila mismo yung emotion nila hindi masyado stable. So yun yung medyo iniingatan natin sa kanila. Kasi
Pero
mamaya,
fire siya.
yes, opo.
So hindi.
And too much fire this year, right? So wala siyang pambalance.
Okay.
Yeah, and
You know why I'm asking? That is a sign of President Bongbong Marcos.
okay.
So fire rooster is not gonna be, you know, the way you describe is very accurate. He's gonna face a lot of legal problems. Maybe there's an impeachment complaint that may be filed. Generally, hindi maganda ang taon sa fire rooster.
Possible lang po. Yeah, so because of the energy of the year, medyo mas more nagiging pressure kasi 'di ba pag masyado na mainit, hindi ka naman maghahanap ng apoy maghahanap ka tubig. And too much of the fire na siyang element. And that can also attack yung health niya. Ganun siya. So, syempre prayers din for our president na mas more maging healthy if ever.
Yung earth horse naman.
Yeah. Horse naman po, normally this is year of the horse also.
So it's a good year.
It is a mixed energy year. Like
Kung
that.
earth horse ka.
Yes, kasi bakit siya naging mix, no? Kasi pag sarili kang horse, that means this is your year.
Yeah.
Maraming tao pwede mag-support sa'yo. Maraming mata nakatingin sa'yo on that part. Pero yun nga lang, the responsibility becomes super malaki. So, kunyari, may konting mali ka lang din magawa. Totally, it's a turnabout like that, though. Kasi di ba parang ano yun, you're given
Parang mamamagnify.
Mamamagnify, yes.
Because
Yeah.
the attention is on the horse.
Yes, it's on the
so
horse, yeah.
it may not be a good sign for the earth horse.
Yes, opo.
A good year, rather.
It's not a good year din.
It's
Medyo
not a
challenge
good
din
year.
also, yeah. Although one good thing lang, earth can balance fire. So, ang nakadepende ngayon siya sa support ng mga people or friends, network, connections like that. Kasi earth people kasi sometimes, they're very service type person. So, pwede silang makakuha ng support, backers, that can help her or him, parang like that. Pero yung nga lang, ang iniingatan ko lang din po sa horse, wag lang sila masyado maging tactless and impulsive for this year. Yeah.
Kasi masyado silang mabilis, passionate,
Opo.
no?
Tsaka warning po ito everyone is partly affected because the energy of the horse, yun. Meron silang vengeance, vengeful, and also they're very revengeful din.
Oh.
Yeah. Kasi medyo maano kasi din sila.
Bengatibo pa lang mga kabayo, ganun ba?
They're warrior type kasi
I see.
Horse people are very warrior
So they
type.
seek, if you parang may nagawa ka sa kanila, they seek revenge.
Sometimes they seek revenge or they want to get even, like that. Yeah.
I
So
see. Guess who is an earth horse? Vice President Sara Duterte.
nasa ito ko si Pacquiao.
Kung ikaw naman ay earth rat,
Yeah.
ano naman how does the year look for you?
Rat also medyo hindi po maganda for the year because the number one kalaban po kasi ng rat is the horse. Sila po yung first, in a way, parang we call it the clashing energy, like that. Yeah. So, medyo mag-ingat din ng rat kasi there's a lot of conflict. May mga possible betrayals, mga like yung, maybe sa harapan mo, okay.
Betrayals.
Yeah, pero sa likod mo pala hindi, like that yun. And also si rat mismo, medyo urong-sulong yung decisions niya ngayon. Like that. Me, I'm also a year of the rat eh.
Really?
Kaya medyo, that's
are you an
also,
earth rat too?
I'm a wood rat naman
Wood
po.
rat.
Yes.
But you said, metal and water.
Metal and water should
Wood
be, yeah.
and earth are medyo not good.
Not so good din.
Not
Yes.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although ang earth kasi, di ba, sabi natin kanina, aasa siya ngayon sa mga
Grounded,
people.
people
sa
around.
surrounding niya, like that, yeah.
So that is The earth rat is a sign of Senate President Tito Soto.
Okay. Pareho pala kami.
Okay.
Sabi ganun yung reaction. Sorry.
Sino bang... Liwanan muna natin yan. Anong mga sign ang... Ako, water tiger. So
Tiger.
it's a good...
It's a good year.
It's a good year for me.
It's a good year. Number one, because the tiger...
Sorry, naging consultation na. Bakit ba?
Yes, so it's very important.
Yeah.
Because the tiger and the horse kasi they're very good friends.
They're friends,
sila, diba? They're allies. So kapag kakaibigan mo kasi yung year, you get a lot of support from your network, from your resources, and there's a lot of help coming in. And one good thing, if you're the water itself, alam mo yung parang ikaw rin pala yung pwede magdala ng kalma sa mga ibang tao.
Tiga-temper dun sa mga mapusok.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's, you said, too much energy, too much fire, too much passion, and water can kind of tame it.
Yes, opo. Eh, mas lalo na for the year of the horse, di ba? When the fire horse is very strong, a lot of aggression. Imagine ang pag nagwawala ang isang kabayo like that. So, anong kailangan niya? Isang maayos na kutsero para kalmahin siya.
Akala ko pa inumin mo ng tubig, hindi naman. It doesn't have to be that literal.
Yes, it doesn't have, yes.
Okay. So, sino pa ang mga swerte?
We have the top 5 animal signs.
Sige.
Yeah, no?
Okay.
So, yun pa, para for everyone.
Yes, for everyone.
Regardless of the elements din to, no? Lahat muna ng animal sign na swerte.
Okay.
Yeah. So, first is we have the number 1 is the year of the rabbit. Okay, sila yung medyo nasa top list ko para for this year, 2026. Okay?
Rabbit.
Then the next...
Teka, ano mga ending ng rabbit?
Rabbit are mga ano yan, 1975, 1963,
okay.
Ano pa ba?
So every
Yun, plus
12
12
years,
minus
eh,
12, yes.
Okay.
Like that.
Rabbit number 1, swerte.
Po.
May rabbits
may mga
dito. Madami.
Yeah,
Okay.
maglulundagan mamaya.
Next.
Yeah. Then next natin is the year of the sheep or year of the goat. Yan, no? Because they're the best friend of the horse. So sila yung pinaka magbe-benefit din para for the year.
Okay.
Yan. And then next is the year of the ox. Yan. So at least sa mga year of the ox, it will become a better year. It's a comeback year. Kasi for almost ilang years din, medyo mahinang energy ng ox eh. Like, so this time is maraming opportunity for them.
Okay.
And then dragon. Dragon is medyo malakas din for this year. Especially in terms of recognition, promotion, like that. Their influence is very strong. Tapos then yung mga year of the dog also. Yan. Because the dog is also the friend of the horse.
Of the horse.
Yan. So yun din, malakas din yung catch.
Okay, so top 5 animals na swerte.
Lucky.
Let's sabihin na nga natin,
Yes.
lucky. Pero kung sila ay metal at
Water.
water.
Yeah. Parang add-on energy pa siya.
Pero kung hindi, kung wood, and
At least mas less lang yung support, but still, the animal sign holds the power first eh.
So always look at the animal sign
first, yes.
and then after that, the elements.
The elements, yes.
Okay. So let's go now to, if you are a metal ox, at least ox ka.
Yes, ox siya ngayon. Yes.
But
Maganda.
metal?
Metal is good, di ba?
Good. So it's going to be a good year for the metal ox.
For the metal ox, yeah. Kasi metal ox, they become like a parang consultant. Like that, okay? They become parang meron silang power also para to convince, power to support. Like that. Pero ang iniingatan ko lang sa ox kasi they have a harm clash this year. So harm clash is mamaya. Kasi
what is a harm clash?
Maybe some people also wants to harm you. Ganon. Kasi ang ox kasi, when they work, they're very sincere. Kaso when they're very sincere, mas lalo na metal, family-oriented ng metal.
At saka worker ang ox, di ba?
Yeah, they're very hardworking. Tapos medyo totoo rin sila sa mga ginagawa nila. So they're very sincere. Tapos metal pa, medyo consultant-based ang style nila. Ang masama nun, mamaya, hinaharm, na-abuse. Yeah.
And guess who's a metal ox? House Speaker Boji D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Parang ako'y na-amaze sa mga birthday, no? Sorry, hindi ko pa alam yung mga birthdays.
Hindi, good nga eh. Kasi, di ba, ayaw mo mag-delve into politics, nakahanap kami ng paraan. Hindi mo naman alam eh. So, no, don't ascribe any malicious intentions here. We just want to read the fate or future of our leaders in the country. Kung ikaw ay wood rooster.
Wood rooster. Wood rooster so far, because the rooster has a problem also this year, as we say kanina, di ba? The mga, in terms of like conflict, problems like that, aggression. Ang wood rooster din kasi minsan medyo maikli din yung patience nila. Ganun. Ang mahirap nun, mamaya, sila yung gumagawa din ng part ng kwento, conflict, mga ganun. Oo. So kaya mga wood people like me, I'm also a wood person, dapat wag sa atin manggaling mag-start yung mga problems. Like that. Yeah.
Like Marites ang sinasabi mo.
Yeah, parang pwede maging
Kwentong-
Marites.
oo.
Oo.
Alam mo kung sino ang wood rooster? Former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay. Yes, opo. Year of the Rooster. Yeah,
Oh, fire dog.
Fire
Parang
dog.
okay yung
Yeah.
fire dog,
Dog is
ah.
good, yeah.
It's a good year.
Good year
no?
for the dog.
Based on what you said.
Yes.
Dog, friend of the horse, and fire.
Yeah, fire is also okay naman para for this year. But yung alam,
It
fire
could be
kasi
danger.
I think more on sa health niya and the emotion. So, syempre, mahirap lang po dun kasi mamaya kung siya mismo magka-problem personally like that, it can affect din pati yung work niya and or professions.
Health, ah.
Yeah.
Guess who's a fire dog? President Donald Trump.
Okay. Yes. No.
Okay. And now,
Yes.
oh,
Nasunta ko si Sir MVP.
MVP is
Yes,
also a
yes, yeah.
fire
Yes,
dog.
opo,
It's
yeah.
also a fire dog.
I have encountered him kasi sa consultation.
Oh, and a good year for him, but you said kailangan nga yung fire
Focus on the
medyo
health.
temper, focus on the health.
Yes.
Okay. Now, finally, who have the capacity to rise among, let's say, in the field of politics? Sinong nakikita mo? Anong signs ang maganda? At saka sa entertainment, o yung dalawang yun, bago tayo mag-goodbye.
I think kasi kung more on power, siguro let's talk about sa mga animal signs.
Ay,
Okay?
yeah,
Like that, yeah.
No personalities.
Yes, opo, like that. No, kasi because of the power, may handle ng power ngayon is, number one, sabi natin kanina, si Rabbit. Kasi magaling siya sa network and connection. So, if a politics also need the mga support from the other people, ganun. So, si Rabbit can be helpful on that. The sheep also, because syempre may mga good friends na pwede mag-support din. Kasi kailangan talaga yung support eh. Like
Kasi
that.
naghahanap tayo ng leader na magaling eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa ating bansa. Okay.
Opo.
So, sheep at rabbit.
Yeah, sheep and rabbit. I think yun yung medyo isa sa mga pwedeng tignan. Yeah.
Okay. How about naman in entertainment, those who have the magnetism to become, popular, famous,
And
or
ako,
creative?
Yeah, so nakikita ko number one si Dragon. Medyo may
Dragon.
power potential on that. Yeah,
Okay.
kasi maganda yung influence energy nila. Si Sheep also, again, lumabas na naman kay Sheep kasi malakas din yung niya eh. Pag nagsalita siya, people follow. Eh di ba minsan sa entertainment kailangan yun eh.
Sheep.
Pag nagpakita ako, kailangan marami ako followers agad. Like that, yeah.
Okay.
Siguro for them too, sila yung the best.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your insights.
thank you
And
also.
how can our, kapatid out there find you? Meron kayong shop, di ba, sa Binondo?
Yes, apo. Meron po kaming shop sa Binondo. If you have time also to visit me, please. We're located at the oldest Chinatown in the world, no? So, the Ongpin.
Of course,
Yes,
of
so,
course.
yun. So, 803 Salazar Street, corner Ongpin, Binondo, Manila. And you can also follow me pala. Meron naman akong Facebook and Instagram like that. Feng Shui Sunrise by Coach Johnson Chua.
Thank
Like
you
that.
so much. And I like yung positive energy that you exude.
Yeah.
Friends, that was Johnson Chua, who is our Feng Shui expert, has been studying this since the age of 70. You're still watching The Big Story on One News, and still ahead, the President's press officer and special assistant address more claims from a neophyte congressman over insertions in public works funds. The details of that and more when we return. Do stay tuned. The big story is back with Special Assistant to the President Anton Lagdameo denying any role in the budget listings of the Public Works Department. Lagdameo issued the statement in response to the alleged OPE SSAP tag appearing in the so-called Cabral files. These tags were first revealed by Batangas 1st District Congressman Leandro Leviste. Former Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin was the first to deny that he was the ES being referred to in the document. Last Tuesday, Leviste clarified here on The Big Story that ES was not the full entry on the list but was specified as OPES SAP. The lawmaker claimed the OP was the proponent of the projects worth 8 billion pesos. Leviste also said on our show that he did not know what OPES and SAP stand for. Leviste made the same clarification in a Facebook post yesterday. Lagdameo, however, called such statements linking his office to the issue unfounded and misleading. He stressed that the Office of the Special Assistant to the President is not an implementing agency and does not possess the technical mandate to plan, select, or prioritize infrastructure projects under the DPWH. He added that the OSAP is prepared to cooperate with any inquiry conducted in the proper forum, provided it is evidence-based and guided by constitutional principles of due process. In reaction to the issue, the palace said it is up to the Office of the Ombudsman to authenticate what it now calls the Leviste files. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said there are now multiple versions of the said files. Some contain annotations and names of cabinet secretaries, while some do not. Castro maintains statements not backed by strong evidence remain hearsay. And before we go, as we welcome the new year, we also welcome new lives. For our big picture tonight, 2 babies. A boy and a girl were born at the Dr. Jose Fabella Memorial Hospital as the clock struck midnight. Second-time mom Sally Alburo welcomed baby boy Yuri, who arrived earlier than expected, making the start of 2026 extra special. Hours later, first-time mom Jeneline Dalen rushed to the emergency room with labor pains, unaware her baby girl Zamara would also become a New Year baby. Hospital officials said a total of 25 deliveries were recorded after midnight, including baby Yuri and baby Zamara, both born through normal delivery. And that's the big story this first day of the year 2026. We'll be back here tomorrow with a new time slot at 8 p.m. We'll see you then. Kapatid, we are One News, all sides, all the time. Have a good night and Happy New Year! Up next. Up next is Play-by-Play with Cheska Liton Calao. Happy New Year, Cheska.
Happy New Year,
I'm sorry, my back is turned to you. So,
yes,
tayo ang
just me
iniwan
tonight.
tayo ang iniwan sa
Oo
fault
nga.
mind.
Oo nga. But I wasn't able to reach the feng shui discussion. How was your year looking?
What is your sign?
Dog.
Oh, good year for you.
Well, I
Very
hope
good
so
year.
because I don't think anything can be worse than my 2025.
But what is the element sign?
Oh, I don't know. May ganun ba?
You're on metal, either metal, water,
How do you
earth.
find out your
You have to
element?
find out.
Oh my gosh.
Because metal and earth, tama ba, coach? Nako, I think are medyo, but if you're a dog, that trumps everything.
Again,
You're good.
Can't be worse than my 2025.
All right, well.
Thank you so much, Ces. And the big story tonight, we've got results from 9 NBA games, including the NBA Cup Finals rematch between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. Plus, a conversation with basketball star Dwight Ramos about Gilas Pilipinas. And fireworks in the PVL to ring in the new year as superstar spiker Ea Laure finally joins a new team. I'm Cheska Liton Calao, and here's tonight's Play-by-Play.